Hello, everybody out there in internet land. Wanted to do a video on something I discovered actually about a week ago, and then I built a patch like about 10 minutes ago, and I was like, oh, this is super cool. I want to share this for people that don't know because I didn't find this to be too obvious. And what we're talking about is the Super 6, which is a 2-oscillator synth. It has 12 voices in it. However, it's a Super 6 because it takes those voices and it splits them in two and gives you this really cool stereo, an oscillator basically for each ear. And it's super cool. It's unique about it. A lot of other companies are starting to do it. Stereo is really cool. It's taken a long time for us to get here, which is kind of weird because we've had stereo for so long. But yeah, everyone's getting on board and you're starting to see even modular the modular community, they're starting to build these pieces of kit that are pretty amazing. You know, stereo filters. I think Make Noise just made the XPO, which is a stereo synth, right? So anyways, I went somewhere else beyond what I wanted to talk about. This synthesizer being sold as a 2-oscillator synth, which is DDS1 and DDS2, has a third oscillator, which can be LFO1. And reading the manual, it just really didn't occur to me that once you put something into high frequency mode, which is what these mean here. I mean, most of us, we kind of just sit down. It's like, I got a synth. I know how to use a synth. And you start using, then you just go to the manual for whatever you need. But you never really, not me at least, ever really get into, hey, what does this little thing mean over here? How can do I know enough about that? Can I leverage that, right? And, hearing, high frequency, it takes the LFO and turns it into a high frequency oscillator. And really what that means is it's making it audible. It's no longer just this low frequency thing that you can't hear, but is useful for modulating other parts like your filter or whatever it is on your synthesizer. So I did a little bit of research. I found a really cool YouTube video out there and saw somebody playing around with this. And I thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool now that I know how to turn LFO1 into an oscillator to take 3 oscillators and tune them to different keys, pitches, right? And make a 1-finger chord out of it. And I thought, oh man, it'd be kind of cool. I kind of do like maybe some kind of dark kind of house chord type thing on it. And yeah, after about like 5-10 minutes of messing around, I got it. And I was super pleased with it. It was so cool. It really opened up a lot. If you turn LFO1 into a oscillator, obviously you lose an LFO, but you've got a backup LFO2 over here that you can utilize. And there's other ways that you can modulate if you need to. For me, I wasn't missing it. And just because you've turned into an oscillator doesn't mean you still can't take the frequency of it and send it to other areas, like the filter, for instance, by using the LFO1 here and the LFO for the VCA and so forth. So the 2 modes that they have is high frequency and high frequency track. And high frequency gives you 1 pitch and it stays with it throughout whatever you're playing, layered with your other oscillators that you can adjust the pitch. And if you go to high frequency track, you can use your rate to control your pitch. And so you can have each oscillator on its own pitch. And that function right there and the ability to take any one of these wave files that you have on oscillator 1 and assign it to the default, which I think is a sine at first. When you go into high frequency mode, I think it's doing sine, but you're not locked there. You can use all these waves that are, and I think you can even use the waves if you want to. So I have to double check that. But anything this is set to, if you switch it over to high frequency track and you're holding the shift when you do it, it will take on the shape, and that oscillator now could be a sol, a sine, a square, whatever, right? Whatever you have set. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to demonstrate. I'm going to try to move through as fast as I can. I mean, I literally just made a patch, so I'm going to try to find my way back through it. So I hope I don't bore anyone. I might make a cut if it gets crazy or it's going too long, but I'm going to get started on it. Hopefully you like the result. So let me get started with it. And we have a default patch, which is this DDS1 that's going right now. Now we've we've got 2 oscillators, and I'm going to activate this first on high frequency. Let's go here so we can really hear this. We're going to set this to DDS2. And we can hear that sine. And no matter what key I press, it's going to stay. But if I move it to track, I can hear the pitch of the sine now. So we're going to go back into, I'm going to use a saw for this. And I'm going to change this sine wave into a sawtooth, which is what DDS1 has selected right here. So I'm going to hold the shift button and I'm going to, whoops, I think that'll do it. Yep, there we go. Let's go back to noise so we can hear the difference. Yep, go back there. And I'm going to tune oscillator 2. Sorry for my hands coming across the, we'll put this on 3. Now let's get and blend in oscillator 1 for our third oscillator. So as the other oscillators, oscillator 3 is running through the same signal path, so it's going to be passing through the filter, VCAs, etc. So we're going to adjust our filters now. Starting to get there now. I'm going to start adding some effects, honestly. Well, yeah, we're here, honestly. Again, I'm just going to keep adding effects now. I've got a microcosm next to me. So I'm going to go ahead and add some reverb and some weird granular thing that it does, which is pretty cool. I'm really digging this thing these days. can hear that you can still modulate, which is going to be a little crazy because it's fast, but DDS2. Cross mod still there. I don't know if this is active now. So there you go. You know, you can play around with the tunings, make whatever one finger chord you want to run. I think it's pretty awesome, and it's just kind of like the start for me. It's just something I thought up. It's like, oh, why don't we try this out? We got 3 oscillators. How far can I go? How far can I push it? How many more patches can I make out of it? So, you know, you think you're buying a Super 6 and it's a 2 oscillator synth. It's really not. It really has 3. Really has 3 oscillators. I mean, it's really strange. I mean, I get that it's LFO1 and I know you're losing it. But gosh, even in the manual, it just seems like it doesn't really smack you in the face, you know? You got to really understand your synthesis really well to know that, hey, anything you can take on a low frequency oscillator that has a high frequency mode on it is going to go into that territory as another sound source. And to have that flexibility to change the source waves and tracking, those are 2 key things to making it a very capable oscillator. You know, it's not just something that you're going to run as a drone. It's like, okay, I can hear something, but I'm just going to drone it. I can't affect the pitch. You can do that, as you can hear. It's pretty crazy. Really cool feature. There's a lot of secret. I'm going to probably do some more videos. I found a few little other weird things and secrets, and I might even put together a little, I don't know, PDF for people that, you know, that care, that stuff that's just not obvious, maybe in the manual, and secrets to get to certain things, and maybe why you would want to get to those certain things. So we'll see. Stay tuned. Maybe I'll do something like that. But I'm really trying to, this is part of just doing a deep dive on this. I've had this for quite a few months and used it pretty much at face value of what I saw on there. And only if I had to dig in the submenus was because, oh, I need to save something, or I want to load a wave. It's something like that, you know, right? Just to use kind of the main features, but it didn't really think about some of these other things and the way they could interact with each other, like this high frequency mode that's on LFO1. And so, yeah, well, hopefully you learned something here. If you don't own one of these things, you can apply the same ideas to another soft synth or whatever synth you have. If it's got 3 oscillators, you can pretty much do the same thing. So there you go. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you for listening, and hopefully you learned something again. And yeah, stay tuned, guys. Take care.